Hey gamers, hope you all have been doing well. I apologize for being so delayed on the rest of my guides. I still have plenty more to do, but I have been very busy. As you can see here on my character, for the past few weeks, I have been working relentlessly on Rival Wings, and I finally have my Wings of Fire title. And because I now have my Wings of Fire title, I can use the rest of my time that this event is active to put out a little bit of content. And so to start that off today, we are going to be doing a ability guide as well as a play-by-play on Summoner in Rival Wings. So, just like before, I'll go over all of the abilities and what each of them do, and then talk about combos and role actions and all that other good stuff afterwards. So without further ado, let's take a look at my Final Fantasy XIV PvP ability guide for Summoner. First off, on Summoner, we have our basic combo button. Only on Summoner, it's not even a combo, it's just one button. It is Ruin 3. It's a cast for 6,000 damage every time you press the button. Very, very simple. You do not hit this button very often because you will be hitting everything else instead. Ability number 2 is called Slipstream. Slipstream has quite the long cooldown timer to it. It is a 8,000 potency AoE that also applies a dot effect, damage over time, for 4,000, and it ticks twice. So this ability does a grand total of 16,000 damage when it is done. It is also a very big radius. You can tag a lot of people with this button, and it is a very good basic source of damage for Summoner. Not only does it do this 16k total damage, but anytime you or any of your party members are standing near your Slipstream target, you guys will also get movement speed, 25% movement speed for 6 seconds. So if you ever notice you are running faster after you cast Slipstream, that is why. Ability number 3 is Mountain Buster. This is a 20-second recast button with a potency of 12,000. It is a pretty small cone area in front of you that stuns enemies when you use it for 2 seconds. This is a powerful hard CC ability that goes really, really well into your combos in order to get some insane one-shots off onto your enemies. I'm going to skip ability number 4, and I'm going to go straight to ability number 5, because ability number 4 is very important, and I want to talk about it specifically when I get there. But ability number 5 is Necrotize, and Necrotize is a very simple off global cooldown button for 4,000 damage, and it gives you a buff called Further Ruin. Further Ruin turns your Ruin 3 into Ruin 4. Ruin 4 is a 8,000 damage ability that is AoE. It's very small, but it is there. And it is used, honestly, more often than Ruin 3 is. So when you're looking to tag people for good AoE damage, using Necrotize onto one target into a Ruin 4 is actually a fantastic way to cleave a lot of people. And if you hit them with like 3 of these, that's 24,000 damage you've just done out of complete nowhere. So be wary of that combo. Make sure to always press Ruin 4 within your time frame. Alright, ability number 6 is called Crimson Cyclone. This is a pretty interesting ability. It has a range of 25 yalms, and the reason it has this range is because this ability is a dash. And basically, when you press the button, you are going to fly to whatever enemy you are targeting. And it gives you a buff called Crimson Strike Ready, which is the second part of this ability. So Crimson Cyclone is a dash, does only 6k and a small AoE, but then it turns into Crimson Strike, which is a bigger AoE for 12,000 damage, and any other enemies that it hits, it cleaves them for 8,000 damage. So it does have a little bit of damage fall off, but whoever your initial target is going to take a ton of damage from this button. Before I move on to the limit break and the roll actions, let's talk about my ability number 4. Ability number 4 is called Radiant Aegis. This button is a shield that comes up every 20 seconds. It shields either you or your ally in your party for 12,000, and it gives them 25% damage mitigation. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, it is to a certain extent. But the reason I wanted to talk about it is because this button is really not for you. This is not a, oh, I have this shield and I should be using it on myself all the time. No. That's not what this button is for. In Crystalline Conflict, especially, if you are playing in a Crystal ranked lobby, or you are playing in a light party setting with a team with voice communication, Radiant Aegis is not for the summoner. It is for everybody on the summoner's team. The only time you need to put Radiant Aegis on yourself is if you know for a 100% fact you are about to take some damage. Your best target for this button is on a tank or a melee. It's as simple as that. You give Radiant Aegis to somebody like a warrior, and they're much harder to kill. You give this button to somebody like a monk, and they're much harder to kill. Every time you use a ability in PvP that gives you damage mitigation and extra health, essentially, because of the shield, you want to make sure you get value out of it. So if I have a warrior in front of me hitting this striking dummy, and this striking dummy is hitting him back, but he's not touching me, why would I put the shield on myself? There is no value out of that. Whoever the target is in your match that's in your party, that's who your Radiant Aegis goes on. No questions asked. So if you want to be a noticeable summoner player, that is actually one of many steps that you need to pick up, is to put Radiant Aegis on someone other than yourself, unless you know you are about to get jumped by a bunch of enemies. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about something else unique about Summoner. Summoner is the only class in Final Fantasy XIV, ladies and gentlemen, that has 2 limit breaks. But you can't use them both at the same time. They share the same 90-second cooldown. So we'll talk about them one at a time. The first one, everybody's favorite, is called Summon Bahamut. It is also referred to as just Bahamut, or it is referred to as Mega Flare. Reason it is referred to as Mega Flare is because that's the name of the ability that Bahamut cast that does 20,000 damage in a humongous 15 yalm radius area, and it looks like this. When you summon Bahamut, you cleave a bunch of enemies for 20k. Your Bahamut button turns into another button called Death Flare, and Death Flare is an AoE that hits for 10,000 damage. And your basic combo button turns into Astral Impulse, which is a single target button that does 8,000 damage, and it lasts until Bahamut runs out. Finally, the last effect, you may have noticed that Bahamut was actually attacking that striking dummy as well. He does his own attacks for 8,000 damage. that is called, I cannot remember off the top of my head. Yes, Worm Wave. So Worm Wave is a basically a pet button. Bahamut does it by himself. You do not have to press any button to get that free extra damage. So if you send this onto one target, that Bahamut is going to help you kill the target once he's on the field. He is on the field for 20 seconds. So it is very valuable, especially when you're trying to damage carry a game that you use Bahamut a lot. However, the other limit break is more valuable in team-oriented situations. And what I mean is, when you are in comms with your teammates, summon Phoenix, the other limit break, is much deadlier. When you summon Phoenix, a few things happen. No damage happens initially. However, everyone is instantly given a buff called Everlasting Flight. Everlasting Flight is basically a free recuperate charge, as well as a health regen. As you can see, I'm getting health regen ticking for 4k. If I were to drop below 50% HP at any point in time that Phoenix is on the ground, I would get healed 16,000. Or, as you might have just seen, as soon as he expired, he gave me that heal. So that heal isn't going to be useless if you don't drop below 50%, but it is going to be better off if you know you guys are about to take a lot of damage. Phoenix is super valuable. It's basically another healer on the field for 20 seconds. But it doesn't only do healing. As you may have seen, Phoenix also turns your combo button into another button called Fountain of Fire. Fountain of Fire is instant cast for 6k. This is the button you press while Phoenix is out, unless all of your other buttons are up, which do more damage. However, the most important button on Phoenix comes immediately after the LB button. So I've just gotten my LB back. So if I summon Phoenix, the Phoenix button will turn into a ability called Brand of Purgatory. Brand of Purgatory is a 5 Yalm AoE that does 7,500 damage. But the damage isn't the important. The important part is whoever you hit it with gets a debuff called Revelation. Revelation makes them do 50% less damage. If you cleave an entire team in a Crystalline Conflict match with Brand of Purgatory, that team is doing 250% less damage. It's so valuable. And it's even more valuable when you know that someone on the other team is about to use a limit break. If you use this on a machinist who's about to marksman spite you, that marksman spite is only going to hit you for 20k instead of 40k. If you use a Brand of Purgatory on a monk who's about to Meteor Drive you, Meteor Drive isn't going to do 24k, it's going to do 12k. It can save your life. Putting Radiant Aegis on a target who is also fighting somebody with Brand of Purgatory on them, you are invincible. You are basically invincible. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Summon Phoenix is insanely powerful. Please, if you are looking to play Summoner in Crystalline Conflict, please consider this. When you are in a 5v5, no one on the field is dead, and especially when the other team has limit breaks ready, do not drop Bahamut. Do not. Please drop Phoenix. You will do so much more for your team with a Phoenix on the field in a 5v5 than a Bahamut. If you have an advantage, you know you have an advantage. Let's say that maybe you're fighting on the 50% checkpoint and you just killed somebody, your team just killed somebody, so it's a 5v4. If they're starting to point cycle and use their guards, that is when you can consider mega flaring. Even sometimes still in a 5v4, I still Phoenix when I'm in comms with my friends or my teammates or whoever, because Phoenix is that strong. But there is a combo involving mega flare that can one-shot anybody who isn't a tank or a melee, which I will show you here shortly. But please, this is a post-service announcement to anyone who plays Summoner. Please consider using Phoenix more often than using Bahamut. It will win you more games. I have won so many games of ranked on this class purely because I press Phoenix and the other Summoner doesn't. It's that strong. Please use it. Alright, enough of that. That is my rambling speech for this video. I apologize, but I had to get that out there. Let's talk about role actions for Frontline and Rival Wings. This job is insanely powerful in Frontline and Rival Wings. The only bad thing about it is that Phoenix in the big scale game modes is kind of useless. Well, it's not useless, but you can only save yourself and 7 of your teammates, as opposed to dropping a 20k Mega Flare on potentially 24 people, so an entire team. So you get more effective value out of only using Bahamut. Due to how fast you need people and want people to die in Frontline and Rival Wing matches, Bahamut is just the play. So that is the mode where you do not use Phoenix. Phoenix is useful, more useful in CC than Bahamut is in more situations, but in Frontline and Rival Wings, use Bahamut. Now, as for role actions themselves, you have Comet, you have Phantom Dart, and you have Rust. During my time in this Mogtome event, I have actually been experimenting with Phantom Dart on Summoner. Phantom Dart is only single target. However, Phantom Dart in Rival Wings absolutely decimates mechs. So, if you need to kill a mech fast before he does damage to your core, you can Phantom Dart him and then drop your Mega Flare combo on him. Your Mega Flare will hit for 35,000 damage if you're at max soaring, which is absurd. So, I like Phantom Dart. The other safe option in these modes is Rust. Rust is insanely OP, especially if you cleave it on multiple people. Damage and healing down by 33% is not anything to joke around with. Comet, you don't need it. It's fun sometimes because you can Mega Flare and then Comet immediately after and get that double AoE damage, but that requires the enemies to pretty much be standing still, and let's face it, they're not going to stand still for you to do that combo. You may hit your Mega Flare, but you're not going to hit your Comet, and you're just going to look really silly just standing there with your 2.5 second casting time. So I wouldn't even use Comet. Personal preference, I use Phantom Dart more. I have Rust on my bar because I was just playing Frontline a few minutes ago, and Rust is more powerful in Frontline, in my opinion. But in Rival Wings, which is what I will showcase at the second half of this video, I will be on Phantom Dart. So I will be taking that 25% damage amp. I will be deleting X off the face of the earth, and it's going to be fantastic. So now, for the last section of this guide, let's talk about combos. Before I use Bahamut, show the LB combo, I will first show the basic combo with your abilities as if you don't have LB. So something that I like to do, and it happens pretty quickly, but do your best to follow along, and I will go as slow as I can. So the first thing you want to do, because of how long the recast time is you want to try to get a slipstream out. If you can get a slipstream out onto your target, you're going to be much better off because you're also going to have that movement speed. So, slipstream first. if you're safe to do so, use Crimson Cyclone immediately into Mountain Buster for your stun. Like so. Then, while your thing is recharging, press Necrotize to get this proc. Use your Crimson Strike when it's available to be pressed, and then Ruin 4. So, I will show that to you one more time, much faster. So, Slipstream, Crimson Cyclone, Mountain Buster, Necrotize, Crimson Strike, Ruin 4, and then you can do the other Necrotize Ruin 4. After that, all of your buttons are on cooldown, and you can press Ruin 3 for a little while. There's my other Necrotize, and you just keep rolling, and you can repeat that combo over and over and over again if you want to. If you know someone doesn't have guard, especially, that's when you can immediately Crimson Cyclone into Crimson Strike. Just for that instant, 18,000 total damage. But if they have guard, if you dash on them and they're quick enough to react, they will guard your Crimson Strike. And you will miss most of your damage. So, now, basically, that is the main and kind of only combo for Summoner. So, now you just have to throw a Death Flare into it. So where does Death Flare fit? Due to how much potency it is with 10k, I like to throw Death Flare in right after stun. So I like to Death Flare, Necrotize, Crimson Strike all really quickly after the stun, because the burst damage is crazy. If you add it all together, it's about 70,000 damage. What you want to do is, when I have your Bahamut targeter up here, Bahamut, Slipstream, Crimson Cyclone, Stun, Death Flare, Necrotize, Crimson Strike, Ruin 4, Necrotize, Ruin 4. There's your 70,000 burst combo on someone's face, and hopefully they fall over dead. Bahamut is very strong for damage, and should be used in the large-scale modes, but again, please use Summon Phoenix more in Crystalline Conflict. You will win more games by doing so. I think that's about it for the Summoner Guide. I hope you enjoyed my overview. Again, I apologize for having such a big time gap in between my last video and this one, but I've been busy, and now I have my title, Wings of Fire. I'm very excited that I have it done. That means I can play Rival Wings for fun, not have to think about it, and it's just a great time. And speaking of Rival Wings, for the second half of this video, I will be playing a Rival Wings match on Summoner to show you guys, and show you guys how strong this class is in Rival Wings mode, and how fast it can delete mechs, delete players, delete everything off the map. You can get top damage on this class without even being in a mech. So, thank you guys. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. And I hope you enjoy this game. Welcome in, guys. I am currently on one of my alts. This is my alt from Crystal. This is going to be a Summoner gameplay, play-by-play and Rival Wings match. I got a couple of my friends here with me as well, so that should make my soaring count pretty smoothly. I'm playing Summoner. I am running Phantom Dart roll action. Phantom Dart roll action, as I talked about in my Summoner guide, absolutely deletes mechs and can delete certain players. So as we go through this game, I'm going to be, you know, talking about everything I do, my decision making, you know, what's going on. So let's see what kind of start we get. Alright, unfortunately we got the Gobby Juice start. In my opinion, worst of the three. getting one of the other two, main cerulean tank or gob tank, can usually define which team is stronger at the beginning. Doesn't always mean that, but it can. Can certainly tell the outcome of the game pretty early. I'm going to put a focus marker over my friend who's playing tank, because I'm going to try and give him my Radiant Aegis shield all game long if he chooses to jump in. I'm not going to give it to myself unless I absolutely have to. Looking for cleave damage. I'm going to get ran at here. Let's see if I can kill this dart before I die. Okay, got him. I'm just gonna pick targets one by one. See if I can get any early soaring for my team. To get soaring in Rival Wings, you must get the final blow. You or someone in your party. So me, one of my two friends, or the other summoner. Put a marker over this warrior's head. Just gonna play aggressive purify and just kill him. I'm my first LB with 3 soaring. That guy just died to the train. That's pretty funny. I'm gonna drop my first mega flare here. I'm looking for cleave damage. I'm gonna dash in. We did find 2, or at least my party found 2, so that's good. Number one thing you want to do in this mode, as fast as you possibly can, is get to 20 soaring for that damage buff. Gonna guard here. Gonna put shield on myself just for safety. I don't want to die. Dying gives the other team soaring. That might have hit me. Nope, it missed. It's good. Put a phantom dart on this oppressor. Due to the phantom dart on the oppressor, he died pretty quick. I've got another mega flare. Stun this dragoon. Okay, nice. Looking for more cleave damage if possible, but they are mostly in their tower. If enemies are in their own towers, they take 50% less damage, so there's not really a point of me dropping an LB. Just gonna whack Mammoths for CE. I think our other summoner is piling, which is really good. Yes, he is piloting. Awesome. I'm eyeing North Lane, but there's no reason for me to switch because they don't have any mechs up there. They don't have 2 mechs up, and we have all 6. Our team very well in that department. Watching my friends. Gonna drop big damage. Only got 1 soaring, but it's fine. Gonna put a mark on that guy, see if he dies. Not quite. I might be able to chase him, actually. Wow, he actually got out with a Sage Dash there. I'll put a Phantom Dart on this ninja and hit him in his tower anyway. Ow. Got Marksman Spite from I don't even know where. Luckily, he didn't have very much soaring, or I would have actually died to that. I'm just gonna keep hitting Mammoths. Actually, the other team won Mercenary. North. I did not see that up on the map. That's my mistake. But I'm gonna go up here and make sure it dies. I'm just gonna kind of walk in passively. They knocked me off my mount, that's fine. Gonna hit the mercenary with a phantom dart just to get damage on him. Holding most of my main damage buttons. These are 2 tanks in front of me. Gonna pivot to the mammoths, so we don't want tower to take any damage if possible. Alright, I'm going to Mega Flare combo this Oppressor, especially if he drops down, which he is going to. I'll send a full combo now. Look how fast. Where did his health go? There it goes. Mid is coming up in 5 seconds. Kind of a weird situation for my team. I don't think anybody's here. I got screams. I'm just gonna walk away from this guy. He can't pull me again. My friend is up here on top. I'm gonna see if I can maybe help him. No, this is super cooked. He's gonna die. There's a whole lot of the other team up there and a whole not lot of my team, so yeah, unfortunately it's just a walk away situation. We're not gonna take it back in time either way. Our team showed up, but it was too late. Actually, back here again. Let's see if I can get any form of cleanup soaring for my team. We're almost at 20. I got a marksman's fight off. Probably someone dead. Alright. I can't kill anybody else. I don't have any damage up. Fortunately, my is dead there. That's okay. Have to be careful. Here comes a brute. Brute justice, you get those whenever you lose a tower. I'm actually gonna drop Mega Flare now. Okay, we got 20, so that's good. Just gonna roll damage on this brute justice because he is standing here. Even gonna put a marker on his head. Actually didn't need to guard because he died in time, but since the back AoEs are so fast in this game mode, sometimes it's just better to use it and not need it. Okay, they have a lot of infantry in front of us. I would love to have an LB here. Yeah, nice marksman's fight for 1200 damage. You clown. That's a really fat Mega Flare. Actually, humongous Mega Flare value there. Leaving a lot of infantry. I should have really saved it for the mechs, but again, there's a lot of them in front of us. Our tower's dead in a couple more shots. I'm gonna walk up now, though. Put a shield on myself, just to be safe. Nice. Team is snowballing a little bit now. It's a little too late, but that's okay. If anything, it gives us access to a brute, so I'm gonna Phantom Dart this Dragoon when he lands. He actually died to that, I think. Just kind of strange interaction there. Make sure that bard dies. We are walking mechs, or I guess I should say mech technically, because one oppressor. Walking him south mid here. I don't care about that ninja. Going to full combo this brute. Wow, that guy got erased. I do not have a shield up to give to my friends. Fortunate. That ninja killed. The more important mechs are down south for other teams, so I'm gonna just... We're gonna take a stroll backwards. I do have another Mega Flare. I'm gonna drop it on this oppressor. Okay, good. There's a lot of infantry in front of me, so I'm gonna shield myself, just because I don't know what I'm gonna get cleaved by. Not. Accidentally threw a slipstream at that mammoth when I didn't mean to. I'm trying to get this ninja off my brute. Goes. There's a merc underneath me. I see my team is kind of all over it right now, so I'm not gonna go down there. One thing I am bad about in this mode is not paying attention to mercenary spawns. I pay attention to everything else, but mercenary spawns is just something that I like easily forget about. They still don't have it yet, so now I'm gonna go poke my head down here and see what's going on. How many people are down here? I'm gonna drop a Mega Flare on it. Fat Mega Flare value. That was enormous, actually. But we get it? We did get it. Nice. Okay, now my team needs to probably leave. Cannot give shield. I can't kill this machinist off of you, though. Holy moly, these enemies are just everywhere, aren't they? Phantom Dart this brute that's wailing on our oppressor. Mega Flare's back up. I'm gonna go for this brute in the south lane. We've got a Gob Crate in minute 16. It may not matter too much, but still might fight for that anyway. And they did take care of the brute. It was a very close game. Very excited about a close game than this. I think I Phantom Darted too early. Yeah, I should have held it. That's okay. Actually, just gonna... This guy's nowhere near our base, so I'm not gonna use Mega Flare yet. Just gonna hold it. Yeah, we got infantry all over it, and he dies. Now I'm gonna go to the other lane. This is a point in the match with 2 minutes left where infantry damage on core matters. So any damage that we can do is pretty valuable. I do need some help with this brute though, because he is coming in hot. Gonna full combo him. He chose to stop and Mega Beam instead of trying to full send. He probably wouldn't have gotten a shot off, but I honestly didn't even see that guy. Okay, it's time to go mid. I'm not gonna walk into all 3 of those. They will get me killed. I think the general consensus here is to just throw your body at the core for the last minute. I might actually die to this machinist because I'm playing summoner. JK, I'm just better than you. Okay. Alright, this is ticking. Okay, honestly, yeah, it doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. If they come up there and take it, it's fine. I'm just gonna full send this brute. Okay, never mind. The brute's dumb. Okay, we win. I'll one-shot that Astro for fun, get that warrior as well. This brute knows he's out of time. And that is gonna be GG. But that was a very